I will continue writing the tech news in English, but I could switch to another language at any time. Well, good thing you could get 60% off a Babbel subscription from this video's sponsor, Babbel. How? That's for later, don't worry about it. Nvidia's rumored ARM-based laptop chip may be arriving this year, if details from multiple data miners, leakers, and scoundrels are to be believed. Not like bad scoundrels, like Han Solo types, like, you scamp. Lenovo laptop model names and job listings were spotted by Walking Cat and Huang Anfu on Twitter that included references to a chipset codenamed N1x, which doesn't match any of the usual suspects in terms of CPU manufacturers. Lenovo's platform codes use I for Intel, A for AMD, and Q for Qualcomm, so it makes sense that N would be Nvidia, unless Lenovo's also working on another version of its SteamOS handheld that runs Nintendo software, but that's silly. Even if it was officially licensed, Nintendo might sue anyway. It's an addiction. They need help. Leaker QQ Timmy further shared supply chain info pointing to two chip variants, a high-end N1x and a mid-range N1, which could break cover at Computex. And in case you think this is coming out of left field, Jensen pretty much said they're working with ARM CPU maker MediaTek to launch mainstream products for end users, which I think is Nvidia's term for users who will end soon, because why do we need people when we have robots? TikTok's hearing with the US Supreme Court last week reportedly didn't go super well. So, faced with their favorite app probably being banned on suspicion of ties to the Chinese government, TikTokers have flocked to the even more Chinese social media app, Xiaohongshu, aka Red Note, catapulting it to the top downloaded spot on Apple's US App Store. The second most downloaded app, Lemon8, an Instagram competitor also owned by TikTok parent company ByteDance, who has been pushing TikTokers to migrate to Lemon8 with sponsored posts. This account is almost entirely videos of other creators sending people to the other app. This is bad. We should stick to American platforms like Facebook, where Meta began blocking any posts linking to PixelFed, another Instagram-type platform. Meta said the post removals were a mistake, but it echoed Elon Musk's blocking of Twitter posts linking to Substack and Mastodon last year. The creator and CEO of Mastodon, Eugen Rochko, doesn't want any single person to have that kind of control, so he's transferring management of the decentralized social network to a non-profit. Meanwhile, the Free Our Feeds project aims to raise billions to create more easily switchable alternative social platforms built on Blue Sky's AT protocol, which has received some criticism for not being decentralized enough. But if this project is excellent enough for Alex Winter, aka Bill from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, who co-signed the project, then it's excellent enough for me. The outgoing Biden administration has just announced new restrictions on exports of AI chips that more or less divides the world into 3 tiers of access based on whether you replied to Joe's Christmas card. He spends a lot of time on those. China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea will still be essentially banned from buying American AI chips. About 120 other countries will have quotas of some kind, while 18 close US allies can gorge themselves on AI chips. The White House confusingly called the order a rule on AI diffusion, which sounds like they're trying to address the internet's infestation by growing hordes of stable diffusion generated waifus. But the chip industry isn't confused about this. The Semiconductor Industry Association called the rules onerous and rushed, while Nvidia labeled it sweeping overreach. The tech giant went on to say that America wins by sharing our technologies with the world, not by retreating behind a wall, and then went on to announce that they would open source their GPU drivers and CUDA, because otherwise that would sound a little hypocritical. Open up the language centers of your mind with our sponsor, Babbel, the app that helps you learn a new language, so you can get directions to the bathroom instead of the supply closet, and then you won't have to bring back a mop as if that's what you wanted the whole time.
I guess he likes mops?
Use Babbel to learn a few key phrases, so you can, for example, visit Germany and ask, wo bewahrst du die Wischmops auf? to ask where they keep the mops. This time you'll want one. As one of the top language learning apps in the world, Babbel has engaging lessons created by over 650 real language experts. And their new AI conversation partner can guide you through dialogues and scenarios so you can practice real-time back and forth interaction. Just like how you practice the tango with your mop. This will be more useful, I think. Babbel's research says that you can begin speaking a new language within 3 weeks, and they even have a 20-day money-back guarantee. So click our link in the description or scan the QR code to get 60% off your Babbel subscription. Quickus bitus is actually the Latin name for when you're running so fast in the Circus Maximus that you trip and skid over the finish line on your butt. So you didn't know that. It looks like the Nintendo Switch 2 may be revealed this Thursday, January 16th. That info was first shared on the Nate the Hate podcast and then corroborated by Tom Warren and Video Games Chronicle and Eurogamer and The Verge adds they think there will be an announcement of the reveal the day before on Wednesday. You know, a reveal of a reveal is somehow perfect for a console that was pre-announced this many times. The madness can finally end! TSMC's chip-making facility near Phoenix, Arizona has started producing 4nm chips that are on par with those produced in Taiwan in terms of quality, according to US Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo, as reported by Reuters. It's the first time a process node that cutting edge has been manufactured on American soil. And Taiwan's Ministry of Economic Affairs said yesterday that TSMC could go ahead with their plans to bring production of more advanced 2nm chips overseas as well. Did the ministry also say anything about bringing more bubble tea franchises to North America? No, which is a shame because that shit's delicious. Sonos announced this morning that their CEO of 8 years, Patrick Spence, is stepping down. Probably because the last one of those years was a freaking gong show. Sonos rolled out an app update that users said wasn't just poorly designed, it was riddled with bugs that rendered some systems unusable. I bet Spence is hoping to find ex-Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger at the bar to bond over their shared pain. But he'll be disappointed, because Pat will be at home making Bible verse-inspired TikToks with his loving family. He's busy, Spence! And a Sony patent spotted by tech4gamers.com describes a system that could predict and execute player inputs using a camera to watch the player's hands, detecting a thumb moving towards a button and triggering that button to press before the player does. The system could also apparently detect incomplete controller actions and surmise what the player was trying to do, and then do that. Now you might feel like, what's the point of playing a game when it can just predict how I'll play it and take the reins from there? Exactly. I get home from work and I'm tired, this is gonna make button mashing 10 times more effective. PS5, take the wheel. I'm playing right now. And you should wheel yourself back here on Wednesday for more tech news, or maybe we can predict what the news is gonna be and put out an early episode on Tuesday. No thanks.